His family, so this is going to be another requested video. This is coming from a brother that says his woman is not necessarily disrespectful, she just will not submit to him. She is not cooperative, she won't listen, she thinks she knows it all. And so he wanted some advice on how to make, he referred to her as an alpha woman, how to make an alpha woman more submissive. And so instead I'm going to do a video on reasons why modern women do not submit in their relationships today. And so hopefully some of the things I say in this video will resonate with you and you can come up with your own solutions based on the information you learn here. So number one is her upbringing. Representation matters. If she has never seen a woman submitting to a man, or if she has never witnessed anything positive come out of a feminine woman submitting to a man, then she will be less likely to be the type of woman to grow to be submissive in a relationship. Oftentimes our mothers are our first role models as girls. Our mothers teach us what it means to be feminine, what it means to be womanly. And a lot of times our mothers are not feminine because unfortunately in our communities, a lot of mothers are single mothers that are doing things on their own, so they tend to be a little bit more on the masculine side. And no, a lot of us don't want to say anything negative about our mothers. We don't want to make it seem like our mothers didn't do the best that they could with what they knew and with what they had. But I'll say it for you. A lot of us had horrible representation of what a feminine woman is. The same way we say a woman can't raise a boy to be a man because a boy needs a man in order to know what a man is and what a man does, it's the same thing when it comes to being a woman. In order for a girl to grow to be a woman that is feminine, she needs that representation young. And if she doesn't have it, she's not going to grow to be that way. Growing up, oftentimes feminine representation kind of looked like some little helpless Disney princess that was waiting on a prince to come save her, or some dumb blonde that was a spoiled rich brat.
As if. What, like it's hard?
Or some big booty hoe that was being disrespected in a music video, or a woman that was very abused and that had no voice and that was some type of victim. These are often what we had to go by for what it meant to be feminine as young girls. And so if it's not something that's admirable, if it's not something that's respectable, of course girls don't want to grow up to be like that. But you know what female stereotype is admired and respected and glorified and acknowledged and overvalued in the black community? The strong, independent black woman, especially the single mother that don't need no man. We take Father's Day and give it to single mothers. We take Mother's Day and we say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, especially the single mothers. You know, now I think people go about it the wrong way by bashing single mothers. It is something that is tough and it is something that should be respected. However, I do think that it is over glorified in the community so much that we don't want to be honest about that lifestyle. That is depressing. It is stressful. It is unhealthy, not only to the woman itself, but to her children. And so because that strong, independent woman was the representation of what a lot of women had, a lot of women grow today to have the education, to have the degree, to have the job, but they are still miserable. A lot of them have absolutely no idea how to attract or keep a good man. A lot of them are labeled as angry black women because they do not know how to express themselves without being disrespectful or condescending. They don't know how to get their point across in a feminine, nurturing way because they did not have a feminine representation. A lot of them have no idea how to maintain a social life and to keep bonds with other women because they did not have a feminine representation. A lot of modern women have a lot of insecurities when it comes to their physical appearance and their bodies because they were never taught by a feminine woman how to maintain, embrace, and properly nurture their body. And so they do all these type of things to cover up their insecurities. A lot of modern women are stressed, depressed, lonely, low sex drive, having issues getting pregnant, and so many of this could be prevented if they had a feminine role model to teach them how to be a woman. And so again, many of us don't want to hurt our mother's feelings, so we don't want to suggest that she didn't do a good job raising us. But the truth of the matter is, many of us women had a horrible representation of what a feminine woman is. She did not have a submissive feminine woman to look up to. Therefore, she is not a feminist, submissive woman today. She looked up to a single, independent woman that didn't need a man, and so today, that is what she is. Number 2 kind of ties into number 1 a little bit, and that is a lot of modern women, and men for that matter, have the wrong idea of what it means to be submissive in a relationship. A lot of men and women have a tainted and imbalanced understanding of submission nowadays. It's amazing how many women have said to me something along the lines of, oh, so in order for me to have a good man, that means I gotta be weak, and that means I gotta be stupid, that means I gotta think the man is superior to me. Like, that's not what it means. I would never tell a woman to think like that. But that is what a lot of sisters think of when they think of being submissive. They think that that means that they are a slave, that they have no voice, that they can't have goals, they can't have any purpose in life aside from cooking and cleaning. A lot of times when we think of submission nowadays, we think about that scene on Coming to America, the first movie.
What do you like to do?
Whatever you like.
What kind of music do you like?
Whatever kind of music you like.
Look, I know what I like.
And she has no goals of her own, no opinions of her own. She's there simply to serve, satisfy, and obey him. And though there are many men that push that narrative and that push that idea of submission, that is not what it means. If it were up to some of those misogynistic men, I wouldn't have a YouTube channel. But I don't listen to those types of men. I know that my role in society is completely different than what my role is inside of the home. In society, I am a leader, I am influential, I am a powerful woman, I am a coach and a mentor. But behind closed door, yes, I am submissive. Yes, I cook. Yes, I clean. Yes, I give massages. I do all of that. And it is possible to do both, but a lot of women have issues finding that balance because their definition of what it means to be submissive is imbalanced. So that's that one. Being submissive in a relationship does not mean that you are weak. That does not mean you are inferior. That does not mean you are a slave. That does not mean anybody is controlling every aspect of your life. That does not mean you can't have goals. That does not mean you can't have purpose outside of being barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen 24/7. That does not mean any of that. But because that is what a lot of women assume when they think of submission, it kind of keeps them from going down that route. Number 3, if a woman feels like you are not in a position to tell her what to do because she is doing the same thing you're doing, she's not going to listen to you. So let me explain what I mean by that. We've all had jobs where one of our co-workers have tried to tell us what to do. Not a boss, not a manager, not an administrator, but a co-worker, someone that's on the same level as you, getting the same pay. And you look at them like, if you don't get up out my face, you don't tell me what to do, you know what I mean? Because you're doing the same thing they're doing. They are not in a position to try to tell you what to do. However, when someone comes along, like an administrator or a CEO, and they tell you what to do, 9 times out of 10, you're going to do it because they're in a position to promote you. They're in a position to help you improve in some way. But the same thing applies in a relationship. If you're not in a position to really make her life better, you can't really offer her anything that she can't offer you. Y'all really just doing the same thing. You're on the same level. 9 times out of 10, she's not going to submit to you because at that point, why should she? What a lot of men do not want to hear is that it costs to be the boss. You having an extra piece of equipment between your legs is not enough for a woman to submit to you because, like we all know, women have been given many opportunities to be put into positions to where they feel like they do not have to rely on men. They do not need men and they do not have to value men. And so because of this, in order for a woman to feel like she should submit to you, you have to come with more than just your male parts. Okay, it's about your mentality as a man. It's about your masculine traits. It is about your morals. It is about how you treat her. It is about your ability to lead. It is about your decision-making skills. If you are in a relationship with a woman, and this is going to hurt some feelings, but if you are in a relationship with a woman and you need her for masculine traits like provision just as much as she needs you, then that would mean that without her, you would struggle in some way or another. If a woman knows that you need her to be in her masculine in order to provide for you, then 9 times out of 10, she is not going to be submissive to you because now she has a certain level of power over you. A woman is more likely to be submissive to a man that is a provider than she is with a man that she has to go 50-50 on everything with. She's more likely to be submissive to an established man, a man that can provide security and stability. These things help a woman tap more into her feminine. And one of the most feminine things a woman can do is submit to a man. So if you as a man are taking for granted and not seeing the value in the power that you possess when you tap into those masculine traits and attributes that you have naturally, then why should a woman acknowledge and see value in that? As a man, you have the power to really run some ish. You know what I mean? And women will have no choice but to submit to a man like that. But a lot of you rely solely on the fact, well, I'm a man. So what? What are you doing with that? What are you doing with these masculine traits? So that's that one. Hopefully it makes sense. Number 4, she is strongly influenced by feminism. Yes, a woman can identify as a feminist and still be married to a man or still be in a relationship with a man. If a woman is strongly influenced by second and third wave feminism, she will likely feel that she is oppressed as a woman. She will feel that one of the worst things that could ever happen in life is to be born a woman. But at the same time, she feels that being a woman is very powerful. But anyways, a lot of them feel like being submissive in a relationship is just another form of oppression. Again, this kind of ties into having the wrong idea of what it means to be submissive. And not all feminists feel like they are oppressed. Some of them feel like because they do know the power that they have as women, that they should be the ones that are in control. They believe that everything should be matriarchal. And I know that a lot of people are not going to agree with this and not going to like this, but whatever. I feel that the black community is already kind of matriarchal. Because if you think about it, oftentimes the woman is the head of the household. The woman is calling all the shots. The woman is the sole provider. It is the big mama that people fear. It is the big mama that people respect the most. It's the grandmama that, you know, if you have a new boyfriend or a new girlfriend, you bring them to meet grandmama, you get grandmama's approval. The woman is the one that's raising the babies. The woman is the one that's disciplining the babies. The woman is the one that's left to protect the babies. It's already kind of matriarchal. And we kind of see where that's gotten us. I just don't see how anything positive has come from that. You know, and I can see how anything would work from a matriarchal or patriarchal standpoint if here in America we live by some type of rites of passage and we were raised to value the family structure and the foundation and things like that, but we're not. We're raised with dysfunction and trauma and resentment towards the opposite sex. We're not taught how to raise children properly with two parents, and so I don't think that that would work. But a lot of sisters with that feminist mentality, despite knowing they cannot make good decisions for themselves, they still feel like it should be matriarchal, where women should be left to make decisions for all of us. And I just don't agree with that. And number 5 is she just does not trust you in one way or another. Either she doesn't trust that you have her best interest in heart and mind, or she does not trust your decision-making skills, or she does not trust your leadership skills. Whatever it is, she does not trust you. Something that we all need to acknowledge as men and women is that our lives are a reflection of the choices that we make every day. And so if we do not have the wealth that we want, if we do not have the health that we want, if we do not have the peace that we want, if we do not have the relationship that we want, that is a reflection on our decision making skills. And so if she can clearly see by looking at your life that you do not make good decisions, then 9 times out of 10, she's not going to submit to you. As far as her not trusting you to be a good leader, if you're the type of brother that does not have a backbone, you're a yes man to her and everybody else, you're very agreeable to any and everything, you don't stand up for what you feel is right because you don't want to hurt people's feelings, or you just don't want to be seen as the bad guy or whatever. You know, if you are the type of man that takes initiative, if you're not that type of guy, then you're not a good leader. You know what I mean? And so 9 times out of 10, a woman will not submit to a man that's like that. And lastly, like I said, if she feels like you don't have her best interest at heart and mind, then she's not going to submit to you. Meaning, if you have done something that makes her question your loyalty to her, to make her question whether or not you genuinely care about her well-being. It makes her question whether or not you really want her to succeed. If you care about her mental health, her emotions, if you care about her reputation, any of this stuff. If you've done something, anything that suggests that you don't really care and you just want her to be submissive for your own gain and your own benefit, and none of it has anything to do with helping her in any way, then 9 times out of 10 a woman is not going to submit to you, because why should she? You know, that doesn't make any sense. If she feels like she's going to be giving her all into being there for you and cooperating with you and listening to you and following your lead, and at the end of the day she doesn't get any benefit out of it, you're not leading her in a good direction, you're just doing things to help yourself, then no, that's not something that a woman should submit to. Number 6, you're not really her first choice. She's just with you because she does not want to be single. I've learned through mentoring and coaching a lot of modern day women that many women, once they have an idea and a better understanding of what it really means to submit in a relationship, they don't have an issue with being submissive. They have an issue with attracting men that they feel are worthy of submission. And so they enter these relationships with men that they don't feel like they have to submit to because they can't attract those type of men for whatever reason. Oftentimes when women feel like they're settling with a man, they have some type of resentment towards them, and so they kind of punish that man subconsciously by not being submissive to him. And it may not be something that you're necessarily doing wrong, but because you were not her first choice, you're not who she actually wanted to be with, she's not going to submit to you. And then of course it could be something that you're doing wrong. You may lack in certain masculine areas like I just talked about. She may feel like you're overly emotional. She may feel like you're not a very accountable or responsible man. She may feel like you're too much of a yes man. You don't have that backbone or whatever. Some of the things that I've already discussed. But at the end of the day, if you are not her first or second choice and she feels like she's settling with you in whichever way, a woman is not going to be submissive to you. She's going to kind of resent the fact that she's kind of stuck with you. But she wants to have that family. She wants to have that relationship. She wants to have that partner, that companion. She doesn't want to be alone. And so she's with you just because of those reasons. But you're not who she really wanted to be with. And so I know that one was hard to hear. That's why I saved that one for last. But yeah, so that's it. Hopefully some of the things I said in this video will resonate with you and you are able to apply some of this to your situation and come up with a solution with your partner. And that's it. Peace and much love.